Western Q. Royal Western Q. Right now is the chairman of the...
I come back a few years later and I still find race speeches about that, dividing the community. Now that ain't bad, you see, because we want to be by ourselves anyway. We don't be with no animals. Monkeys are animals. The cracker is an animal. We don't need to be with him. One thing we want to do, we going to control our community, see? We ain't going to have the honky coming over here and appointing 5 or 6 nigga cops to come down here and run our community. We going to control our community. That's what we going to do. That's black power. That's what you talk about when you talk about black power. New York exploded. New York exploded. See, Harlem exploded. Dayton exploded. Cincinnati exploded. It's time for Cambridge to explode, baby. We've been if Dayton don't come round, we gonna burn Dayton down. Black folks built America. If America don't come round, we should burn it down, brother. We don't get our share of it. Take your violence to the honky. Take it to the crack. The street belongs to us. We got to take them. They ain't gonna give it to us. We got to take them. Ain't no reason in the world. But on the other side of Ray Street, the funky Peckerwood cracker owns all the stores, and we take our money. Hell, don't you know that? Hell, don't you know they outnumbered? Always they outnumbered. David was outnumbered when he fought for life. He was outnumbered. Daniel in the lion den was outnumbered. Moses was outnumbered. All of us outnumbered. That don't make no difference. But let me tell you, brother, we work in their houses. They ain't got to leave home. They ain't got to leave home. When they want to do walk, and they let us come in their house, that show you how stupid the honky is. Because he ain't got to leave home. Brothers who in Vietnam comprise 22% of that fighting force, and we 10% over here. You got to look at they killing New York, and they killing off all the black young men. So ladies, you better get ready, because you got to fight too. You ain't got no business letting your brother and your sons, your nephews go to that war. That ain't your war. Right, but you better get you some guns. You better get you some guns. The man is moving to kill you. And the only thing that honky respects is force. He proved this up there in Plainfield, New Jersey. And let me tell you what he did in New York. He killed 24 people. That's too many people to lose. We ain't got no business losing 24 people. But in Plainfield, which is about 12 miles from New York, the brothers broke in some stores and stole themselves some guns. They stole them some guns. They stole 46 guns. It ain't stealing. How can you steal from a thief? He done stole everything from us. So don't you worry about that. But look at the brother did in Plainfield. They got 36 automatic weapons. 46 automatic weapons. So the Peckerwood goes down there to take the weapons. And they stalk one of them to death. They stalk the cop to death. Do it, he did. Yeah. They stuffed it. Many of y'all might think that's brutal, but it ain't no more brutal than killing a pregnant woman. And that's what the honky does. He kills pregnant black women. They stuffed him to death and threw a shopping basket on his head, took his pistol and shot him, and then cut it. And you know he was hate. Yeah. But they don't like to hear about niggas cut. They don't want to hear about niggas cut. And they cut it. But then they went back to their community with their 46 weapons, and they told that Peckerwood cop, and the brother saw what was going on, and the brother told him, if you kick down one more door, I'm going to shoot your leg off. And look what the honky did. He left. That's the kind of force he respects. Brothers, you better get some guns. I don't care if it's a BB gun with poison BB. He doesn't declare war on black people, and he don't mind killing them. It might be your son he kills next. It might be your daughter, it might be you. So wherever you go, brother, take some of them with you. That's what you do, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, tip for tap, brother. That's the only kind of world that man knows. That's the only thing he recognizes. Ain't no need in the world for me to come to Cambridge and I see all them stores sitting up there with all them honkies over there owning them. You got to own some of them stores. I don't care if you have to burn them down and run them out. You better take over them stores. The streets of yours. Take them. They gave you the streets a long time ago. Before they gave you houses, they gave you the streets. So we own the streets. Take them. You see that school over there? I don't know if the honky blanked that school or not. But y'all should have burnt that school a long time ago. You should have brought it down to the ground, brother. You're going to have to start studying your history. You got to understand that black folks is not a minority. You got more black folks across the world than they got white people. You got to start looking at China like brothers because they are yellow people.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. What's going on, Cassandra? What's going on, Raw? How y'all doing today? You know, I was gonna come on here yesterday and I was trying to do something positive, but like right now I can't really do it. You know, it's just like, yo, we is so goofy as the people, like in general, like most of us out here, it's just like so goofy with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just at another level, like almost like, I don't know what we're going to do here. You know what I'm saying? Because we are lost, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully the next generation don't be as goofy as this one and the ones before us, you know what I'm saying? Because damn, we lost out here. So before I even go down there, I had to show something that's not goofy, you know what I'm saying? And I was showing H. Rat Brown there at the beginning, and he was speaking in Roxbury. Now y'all should look up like what was going on in 1967. Like it was going down, and you know, I'm not gonna play this whole thing. I just want you to hear a minute. Now, this is like when some of them firefighters. Remember that brother was talking about how the firefighters didn't help him. This one of them. You know what I'm saying? But look at what the black community was doing. You know,
and you have to know, you have to listen. He's a really, really funny guy, and just a terrific guy. One of my favorite guys ever on the fire department.
Let's talk about Ladder 4 during the riots in '67. Tell us about what you experienced and what happened to Lieutenant Donovan.
I wrote an article. It's right there. Summer winds. You know, it was summertime, of course. And that's when the riots broke out.
Now, it's one of them that would have left you in the building if it was on fire, or your baby.
In June, maybe it was in May, but in June of '67, I remember we lived in a firehouse, Ladder 4. It was a single ladder company and a roof deck of the fire department. It's an excellent place to learn the fire department. And we were sitting in the kitchen there one day, 3 or 4 days before this incident. And we're talking about firemen being harassed and shot, and not shot, but all the trouble, rocks being thrown at them.
I see, he was lying back then. He was lying already. He used to say, "Oh yeah, we was shot," but they was not shot, you know, as he said.
And so I said,
"Well,
Lieutenant,
what
are we going to do if we have a riot down here? Because we were isolated."
Now I'm telling you, like y'all thought the Montgomery thing was something like this was all across, because we knew what time it was. You know, this is probably one of the last times we wasn't acting so goofy as we act right now. But
and he said, "I don't know. Nothing's come down from Southampton Street, which is fire headquarters yet, and maybe they hope that we don't have any trouble, just like we don't hope we have any trouble." Saturday night comes, the riots are going on. It really was fires every place. We went up to, I remember, 1767, which it was a dumpster fire in the parking lot of St. John's Church out back, a dumpster. And we came back to quarters, backed in, and I don't think we did a minute and a half. 2141 comes in, the bells are out.
See, like your parents and grandparents knew what time it was with like the ambulance, you know, the firefighters. They knew what time it was. That's why they would. Now we would be like, oh, I can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Looking like wide-eyed, like we were shocked about it. But yeah, they knew what was up.
We go, we're right around the corner. Rockwood Park and Warren Ave.
All right.
Put them on the apparatus and race to the city hospital.
So pretty much they was tearing them up, you know what I'm saying? So as you can tell a long dumb story, and it come from their perspective. So I'll let this brother say it. A$AP Brown. This was in New York. You know, that one was in Boston.
Necessary. I say violence is necessary. Violence is a part of America's culture. It is as American as cherry pie. American taught the black people to be violent. We will use that violence to rid ourselves of oppression if necessary. We will be free by any means necessary. And we also say, to extend that, if black leaders continue to aid in the genocidal attempt of America to execute and eliminate black people, then they shall be considered as enemies also of black people.
Right. So, you know, that's the kind of mindset that we used to be on before we had that childlike mind. But now, like, you know, like just the general public, you know what I'm saying, it's just like so like out there, you know. Let me see. All right, so yeah, I had to play this though, right? Because like, and now all of a sudden, like, it's like the revisionist history. Like, all of a sudden, everybody, oh, we was on your side and all this nonsense. I had to do this one real quick.
Me a meme, a little video of a Palestinian, and he wasn't disrespectful, so I'm not going to disrespect him. But he had a little video where he showed 3 murals that were painted by some Palestinians during the Black Lives Matter era. Is when you start paying attention to other people's struggle, you give the whole world permission to ignore your problems. I don't see Arabs taking attention off their problems for black people.
I'm going to show you a few images, and can you lot guess where they are from? Can anyone guess where this?
You better not say no mural, or you know what I'm saying. Now, let me guess. Like, you know, George Floyd must have been the first black person that they've heard of. But I would rather for when they try to use that and not be like because a Palestinian called the police on them in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Try to pick one that you didn't start or that's not about, you know what I'm saying, us trying to cape for you and all this other nonsense. Just like how they tried to use it because one of them got shot by an Israeli cop. Like, oh, look, you know, Black Lives Matter, come help us. Which is a white organization on top of that, you know what I'm saying? Most of the stuff that was going down was all white people out there that I saw, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's a whole nother thing. But like, you know, George Floyd is the first time in what, I guess for them 70 something years, you know?
Painting is here. This is a painting from Gaza. Anyone guess where this painting is? This painting in the West Bank in Palestine. And during the BLM protest, can anyone guess where this video is from?
I wonder if they was like calling for the dude who called the police on them to get charged, you know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, with the Asians and they got that cop off, you know what I'm saying? I wonder if they would have charged the dude who called the police on them talking about some fake money, which it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I wonder if they are protesting to get him locked up or no.
And in that video, you see an occupied people, which the whole world had forgot about, outside on the streets protesting for BLM. By the way, Dr. Umar is not wrong. There are atrocities being committed to the black community every single day all around the world, and it's not spoken about. He's not wrong. I'm only starting to educate myself about what's been happening in Congo and Sudan, and the first thing I think about is, wait, why is the world not talking about this? And indeed, there is still racism in many of our communities, including...
So if they go call out the Arabs trying to extinguish... Listen, like when I would be like, oh, y'all will see, you know what I'm saying?
Including Arab communities, that is not deniable. But the ignorant, outdated ideologies of ignorant and arrogant people does not speak for us. And a true Muslim and a true Arab, those who follow the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, condemn...
One that been in slavery for like 1,000 years before them, you know what I'm saying? Them ones.
that disgusting behavior. It's up to our generations and our people to come together and eradicate that. Just wanted to share how beautiful it was that the Palestinians were struggling and were forgotten about, but still came out to the streets to protest for BLM. But this isn't a chance for us to be divided. United, we are strong.
Huh?
I just wanted to play
Can
this
you
part.
point to something political? Don't show me no damn artwork. Don't show me no damn artwork. And because you got 3 old murals that was painted by a handful of Palestinians, that means the Palestinian people stand with Black America. That's a damn lie. Don't be hypocritical.
Okay, I see.
Arrogant for you. I did not disrespect you or your people. I wished y'all well in your struggle against white supremacy. I wish the Palestinians well in their struggle against white supremacy, but I'm not taking attention off of the African struggle to pay attention to your struggle. Now, some of you Negroes, y'all sent me a meme, a little video of a Palestinian, and he wasn't disrespectful, so I'm not going to disrespect him, but he had a little video where he showed 3 murals that were painted by some Palestinians during the Black Lives Matter era. He showed the picture of 3 paintings that was created by a few Palestinians. Does not mean the Palestinian people stands with Black people. Just because a few Palestinians painted a couple murals does not mean that the Palestinian state Africans. That's the question I'm asking. Did the Palestinian state put forth a resolution that the Arab states who participated in the enslavement of African people need to pay restitution and reparations? Did the Palestinian government put forth a resolution to stop the trafficking of Africans right now into slavery in East Africa? Don't show me no damn paintings. Don't show me no damn paintings.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it right there. I just wanted to play that part because I know they try to bring up Malcolm X a lot, you know what I'm saying, which is like disrespectful, but you know, I don't know why everybody is worried about, because you know, like I said, we got our own issues and I ain't even gotta apologize about it. But you know, like I said, what I was talking about, you know what I'm saying, like how right now we look at goofy out here, you know what I'm saying. Now, before I show this, you know, I wanted to show you this, right? Now, this is a good brother here to kick it off. I don't know if you've seen this brother here, you know, saying Tim Scott, you know, and I don't know what he's doing here, but this is him bringing out some white girl.
One thing we didn't hear a lot of was former President Trump. That's right. And I want to go to our Garrett Haake right now, who can explain to our viewers who have been watching this debate for the last 2 hours. Garrett, it's been polled that when these Republican candidates attack the former president, even though they're trying to beat him and they're running against him, it actually hurts them.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. There was such a cautious manner in which these candidates do it in a way where they basically wrapped their criticisms of Donald Trump in praise of his presidency, because they're trying to give a permission structure to his voters to say, yes, I liked him then, or I liked elements of what he did then.
Although Senator Tim Scott has had trouble finding some traction in the Republican primary, including his debate performances, he decided to unveil a mystery woman on stage after Wednesday's debate in hopes of answering a question that many people had. You're trying to ask him more about it.
Before we go, I do want to ask you, you've told so much of your personal story. You've shared your family, you've shared your faith. We see this video that we have up right now that you were seeing on stage at the end of the debate with a woman. We understand now that this is your girlfriend, Mindy. There's been a lot of buzz on the trail about her. Can you give us any details? Because many people are saying, you know, here's a guy, he's 58.
Not all of them, and it probably will be like a single person like coming up in the younger generations that will be able to be president, you know what I'm saying, with the way things going, especially like, you know, all of the things that's going on right here, especially in America. But, you know what I'm saying, of course they're going to, you know what I'm saying, do it. And this goofy dude had to come out here and buy him a white girl that nobody believed in.
Years old. He's never been married. It would be the first bachelor president. Just give us a sense of who she is and why you brought her tonight.
Well, she was at my kickoff when I announced my candidacy.
Yeah, You know, only thing I wish is that we could profit off of and let them exterminate each other. You know what I'm saying?
Back in May. So the good news is that we continue to have a healthy relationship. We thankfully both love the Lord and have a healthy respect for one another. And I tell you, we have a lot of fun together. So hopefully, as life continues, we'll continue to see our relationship evolve. But more importantly, I think the American people are more interested in their families than in my relationship.
I don't know. And then just lastly, just
I
for
don't
fun, how
know.
long have you guys been dating?
Nearly a year.
What up,
Okay.
Bakari? This your
People
boy
say-
here,
There's a
Bakari.
guy that's damn near 60
Should have hit out Cory Booker, see if we can get a girl.
kinds of questions and have some maybe more prepared things to say, and because this is not the first time.
There's a question America would love for you to answer. If you become president, you'd be like Grover Cleveland and James Buchanan. You would go as a bachelor, as a single man. Is there someone in your life? Is there time for a woman in your life right now?
Well, there's always time for a great relationship with a wonderful woman. I thank God that is happening. But we're gonna leave it there.
It's actually about the 10th time.
Oh man, that boy couldn't buy that white girl. Now, after all of that, you know what I'm saying? Yo, now they was going in on him.
This politics and BS. I just wanted to
So
talk
he
about
dropped
this
out
'cause I
the
really
race, so it
found
didn't even work.
quite comical that I just talked about. I did a YouTube video on Saturday, and I just talked about Tim Scott and this alleged girlfriend that
It didn't even work though, Rod. That's the funny part. We still looking goofy after all of these decades, you know what I'm saying? Boy tried to buy him a white girl. Now he probably still got to pay her off and all that. Didn't even work, you know what I'm saying?
nobody was believing was real, right? And the news headlines wasn't about what he had to say or what his thoughts were for leading the nation if he were to get the opportunity to be the Republican nominee for president of the United States, which, I mean, honestly, he didn't have a snowball's chance. But it wasn't about that. The news headlines were about him bringing this chick up on stage and saying that this was his girlfriend. Efforts to reveal this girlfriend, because him bringing this chick out was really to quell the.
If you want to see less of me,
Oh, my bad. I'm trying to get to the part. I ain't have it on the right part.
All of that, get into this contract allegedly with this woman to have her showcase herself in public as being your girlfriend, all to, in a matter of a few days, drop out of the race. So the news is that he's dropped out of the 2024 presidential race.
Damn.
And when I saw the headline, I said, you know what? I just want to talk about it for a few minutes because I just really find it funny that he wasted this woman's time, wasted her efforts of traveling around with him, having the awkward hand around the back of the waist photo op, and even possibly affecting her reputation a little bit, because I'm quite sure a lot of these chicks are side-eyeing her.
You an N-word? You
That
sleep
know
with an
her,
N-word?
that are like, was this worth it? Like, I get it. You're an entrepreneur. And even if you're a successful entrepreneur, who doesn't want more success? Who doesn't want more money, more clients, more visibility? But was this really worth it? Was this the route that you needed to take? Like, really? Who convinced you to do that? So the story is that he announced Sunday night that he's dropping out of the presidential campaign.
Damn.
And it actually shocked a TV interviewer because he was doing an interview, I guess, at the time.
Like,
And
things
it
our
wasn't
folks do
expected.
to be accepted.
So he said, when I go back to
Alright.
Iowa, it will not be as a
He
presidential
said, I wonder how
candidate. I am
much is
suspending
the
my
remaining
campaign.
balance for that white girl.
I think the voters, who are the most remarkable people on the planet,
All right, so that's enough of that. You know what I'm saying? But we still out here. But this is something that I did not know about. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. So this is one of the things. You know what I'm saying? I don't play the first part, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I played the other thing with the with one side. So I'll play this part here because I think it's something that we want to learn. But I'm really playing this video because it's something a sister said to me that, or said on here that I'm like, and it's just the mentality that we have. No wonder we always at the bottom until we can learn to have like courage and faith in ourselves and like love ourselves, you know what I'm saying? It just makes no sense, you know.
By the Israeli government. I want you to pay attention to how David navigates this interview and continue to cover the war crimes that have been committed by the Israeli government.
Well, Mark, Israel's not committing any war crimes at all. And, under international law, Israel has the right to defend itself. I think everybody agrees. I think everybody agrees that Israel has the right to eradicate Hamas. Hamas has embedded itself within a civilian population.
Yeah, I'm saying you should learn from them instead of being offended by them. Like, you have a right to defend yourself. You have a right to eradicate any threat to your livelihood, your life. You know what I'm saying?
Hamas has embedded itself within a civilian population. This is a cynical and a horrible organization. I'm sure you recognize that. And if you say that Israel can't defend itself, that they can't attack Hamas, then what you're really saying is that Israel has no right or ability to exist, because if they don't eradicate
But David, let me pause you for a second, because just to be clear,
you're interrupting me.
No, you're misrepresenting my statement. I didn't say that Israel doesn't have a right to defend itself. The question is Israel committing war crimes? The right to defend oneself is not unlimited under international law. And so the question is, outside of just saying we have the right to defend ourselves, is it a war crime? You said the international community agrees. The international community doesn't, in fact, agree.
No. The international community agrees that Israel has the right to attack Hamas. Okay, period. I don't think anybody disagrees with that.
Shut up,
I don't think there's a single nation in the
that's not in
Arab world.
debate. That's what I'm saying. That's a straw man. No one is arguing that they don't have the right to respond.
Mark,
the question is, do they have?
Let's have a conversation.
I'm trying to. What I'm saying is, that's why I want to avoid the straw man. I don't want to waste your time debating whether or not Israel has a right to defend itself. We agree that it has a right to defend itself against Hamas or to respond to this attack. That's not what's in dispute. The question is, are the attacks proportionate? Are the attacks sufficiently discriminate, i.e. not attacking civilians when it's avoidable? Are they not attacking targets that are deemed untargetable by international law? These are the questions. Just to give you one example, and I love your response to this. The UN called Israel's bombing of the Jabalia refugee camp, quote, a brazen violation of international law and a war crime. So clearly the international community isn't in entire agreement with you here.
Yeah, look, Mark, I don't really care what the UN says. I mean, the UN has not been fair.
Everybody agree with it. Well, they don't agree. Well, I don't care what they say, so.
About this issue for the last 50 years. Here is the reality. Under international law, Israel has a right to attack Hamas. Under international law, when you attack an enemy, when you target an enemy, to the extent that there is collateral damage against civilians.
When you target an enemy, to the extent that there is damage to civilians, right? If you have a right to defend yourself.
It's not against, Mark, you're interrupting me.
No, I'm asking, it's a clarifying question. What law? What law? You said, what law?
Yeah, well, no rules in war.
I said under the international laws of war.
What international?
That's why we so goofy, because we don't understand that. We like, oh, well, they're going to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, just maybe, if we love hard enough, just maybe, you know what I'm saying, we can get an ally. You know what I'm saying? And they won't stab us in the back this time. I know we got stabbed in every inch of our back with every other ally so far, but I know this time may be different.
Asking, because I'm appealing to your expertise, what international rules of war say that you can attack Hamas in the way that the Israeli state has? Which one?
Every single law of war says.
I need you to name one.
All of them.
Sir, that's not an honest answer. Which one? Just saying international law doesn't make it one. The international law is not a magic book. Which international law?
There is a body of international law that deals with collateral damage. Israel is not targeting a single civilian. They're targeting Hamas wherever they identify.
Now, like, it's one thing about the shysters, right? Because most Europeans, all of them, they have like the deflection thing, you know what I'm saying? But most Europeans like move the goalposts and like they don't like necessarily, like, they lie, don't get it, they all lie, you know what I'm saying? But like, if you be like, you get them on video doing something, they'll move the thing to be like, oh, well, was he robbing the store or something stupid like that? Now, the shysters would be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you caught me on video, but that's not me on video. Like, you're lying, and, you know what I'm saying, you're anti-Semitic if you say that. But like, but no, but like, here's your signature, and you audio saying, "Oh yeah, I did it because." Well, no, they are terrorists, so we had to do what we had to do, you know, like, but we know that's a lie. Like, they just like blatantly just keep doing it, even though like you can clearly see, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of the things I found funny about them, you know, like according to like the other Europeans who often like just deflect and like they tell lies too, don't get it twisted, but it's just interesting.
Identify Hamas, they attack Hamas. If Hamas is embedded with children, Israel will do everything it can to avoid those casualties.
But you said something else that I think is also interesting. You said that there's collateral damage in all war, and that a body of international laws, which you still haven't named any, say that collateral damage is permissible within war. I agree that collateral damage is permissible within war. Again, that's not in dispute. What's in dispute is whether civilians can be deemed sufficient collateral damage, or whether civilians can be within the realm of the target if it's avoidable. Targeting a refugee camp, Jabalia refugee camp, is not an example of targeting Hamas and there's just a few casualties. Targeting a refugee camp where there are children, targeting hospitals and mosques and churches are all direct violations of international law, despite the fact that you keep saying that it isn't. And we can—
Wait a minute, they condemn Khalid Muhammad for saying something like that. What do you mean they condone it?
move on because there are lots of things I want to.
No, let's not move on. No, let's not.
Okay, for sure.
Let's not move on. Let's not move on.
Fine.
Let's stay right there. Tell me which hospital. Tell me which hospital that Israel has targeted. Tell me which one. You said Israel targets hospitals. The only hospital that got targeted so far in this war was targeted by Islamic Jihad.
Okay.
All right, it's like go on and on. Right?
Proven by Hamas. Proven Hamas headquarters. What independent reference? What source? What investigation has proven that? Who has proven that it's an Al Shifa hospital? Since it's been a proven fact, who proved it?
So now we're going to get into this basic like Holocaust denying idea that evidence that Israel has shown is not valid. I mean, is that what you're doing? Do you deny that people were raped?
Now he straight hit the Holocaust denial thing. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I'm like, and look, like we can be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like we know the truth. You know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, how can you say we control it? Or we look at the CEO and see, you know, whatever their name is. We know. You know what I'm saying? And they be like, how can... Anyway, I'm just playing.
Everybody that challenges you is not doing Holocaust denial. You said that it's a Hamas headquarter. I simply asked you for evidence of it. I said who? And you immediately equated it to Holocaust denial.
Israel has presented evidence. Ask the CIA. Ask anybody who studies
the CIA,
this.
sir.
Yeah. You don't trust the government. You don't trust the American government. You don't trust the Israeli government. Who should we trust? Hamas? You want to trust Hamas? Go ahead, trust Hamas. Okay. The people that destroy lives.
David, here's the point. David, here's the point. Under Article 8 of the Rome Statute,
I completely disagree with that.
Who are non-Hamas members, who are not actors in the military, would constitute targeting a civilian.
I completely disagree with that. Completely disagree. If Israel is targeting Hamas,
we can agree to that.
No, Israel does not think they're everywhere. Israel thinks that they are where they are, and those are in many, but not all civilians.
You call it is thousands of civilians. Then
All right, so and I really wanted to get to this girl here. You know what I'm saying?
And an advisor, and as a friend, and a loved one, and maybe it's me needing to pick up the slack. Or maybe it's the rest of the world that needs to learn how to care. Maybe it's not me.
Yo, we too goofy to give ourselves that same energy. This is the reason why I wanted to play this one, because I'm like, yo, and it's not this sister here, you know what I'm saying? It's just that you hear it. So we got like some people that even come around here be goofy, you know what I'm saying? Like we just get so goofy and say so much dumb stuff. Like we have no understanding of like life, no self, like love, no self-worth. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen to this.
Maybe it's not you.
It's not just this sister, but
maybe we're not crazy. Maybe everyone else is. Hey, black folk, y'all's allyship should not be transactional either. I get it. We're tired of being there for everybody and nobody's ever there for us. Yeah, it sucks. Your allyship, your moral code, your moral values should not be transactional. You do not only help people because you expect them to help you back. Injustice begets injustice. We cannot take on the stance of our oppressor because we feel like no one is ever on our side in solidarity. That's not how this is supposed to work. If we are the freedom fighters and the liberators and
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. This girl was low key tricked. This is the thing that kind of got me in this thing. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about it should not be transactional. We should just like willingly go help any and everybody, even though any and everybody literally comes and stab you in the back after you do that. You know what I'm saying? We just like so damn goofy at this point. I don't know what to do. You know?
should not be transactional. You do not only help people because you expect them to help you back. Injustice begets injustice. We cannot take on the stance of our oppressor because we feel like no one is ever on our side in solidarity. That's not how this is supposed to work. If we are the freedom fighters and the liberators and the social change makers that we claim we are, that we consistently want to be, this,
we don't claim
they don't
that.
help us, we can't help them, we can't take a stance, has to end. We got to dead it. Because not only is it untrue, as Palestinians have stood by us time and time again, even as recently.
All right, so they keep naming one time. So what was the second time when they say time and time? As you're gonna say the George Floyd thing again, right? Where we already been over that, you know. Hell, Joe Biden said happy birthday to George Floyd, you know what I'm saying? So he's invited to the cookout, right? So that's all you got to do. How about they pick one that they wasn't the ones that called the police on them? You know what I'm saying? Dude, pick another one that you wasn't involved in. How about that?
As the 2020 protests where they're giving us tips on how to deal with the police because their oppressor and our oppressor are trained together, it is sick and unfair.
They giving y'all tips. Now, I done showed you the tips in 1967, you know what I'm saying? And the one thing that we have is 50, that's why they got to go back 55 years, because since then you had a lot of immigrants come in after that, like immigration thing, you know what I'm saying, with the 68, the civil rights and all that stuff. So that would be us ignoring the last 50 to 60 years that happened before Malcolm X got killed. And people fail to bring up what Khalid Muhammad said. He was like, you know, Malcolm X is a great man, a hero of mine. But he said he went to Mecca too. And he don't know what Malcolm saw, because what he saw is the same thing that happens everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But she knows that. And she's like, it doesn't matter. We still have a role to play as the saviors of humanity, even though we can't even save our damn selves.
Should not be transactional. You do not only help people because you expect them to help you back. Injustice begets injustice. We cannot take on the stance of our oppressor because we feel like no one is ever on our side in solidarity. That's not how this is supposed to work. If we are the freedom fighters and the liberators and the social change makers that we claim we are, that we consistently want to be, this, oh, they don't help us, we can't help them, we can't take a stance, has to end. We got to dead it. Because not only is
it's goofy, it's so much goofiness.
Untrue. As Palestinians stood by us time and time again.
Because when y'all listen to most people talk, it's just people of color and yeah, it's all bad and all of this other nonsense. Like I haven't forgotten what the Arabs did. You know why? It ain't a lot of, because they used to castrate you. You know what I'm saying? I understand what time it is with. Well, now I'm saying used to. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? They're still trying to genocide people right now. But I don't know. Oh, yeah, they haven't heard about that. You know what I'm saying? But they need you to be frontline. And my thing is like, why in the hell is like, because but this the thing that's pissing me off is because what this sister is saying. You know what I'm saying? Because at least some brothers and sisters was calling her out, but like, why is, you know, I don't know.
Again, even as recently as the 2020 protests where they're giving us tips on how to deal with the police because their oppressor and our oppressor are trained together, it is sick and unfair. Allyship is not transactional. Doesn't matter if you are a part of the LGBTQ community and people are saying, oh, well, they would condemn you there. Or if you're black and you're in this weird mentality of, well, they don't stand by us. It doesn't matter. Because right now, a crime, a injustice, a genocide is happening, and we should have the moral fiber to stand up against that regardless of who helps us.
Which genocide is she talking about? Because we can name all of that, but it doesn't matter if they're going to come over here and do what they do to you. You know what I'm saying? because you should just be doing it just because it's right. I say what is right is standing up, is getting yourself together. You know what I'm saying? First of all, you can't help a poor person if you're one of them. If since y'all people want to go with sayings, you can't help a poor person if you are a poor person. You know what I'm saying? But even that is like dumb as hell, you know. You can't love nobody else if you don't even love your damn self. How you gonna be on the front lines with somebody else fighting for something that you don't even have? How you gonna have allyship with something that we can't even have as a gender, as an age, as a nationality, as a, you know what I'm saying, whatever. You pick the thing that, a religion, you pick the thing that keeps us divided. We can't even do that with each other. Yeah, we're supposed to be able to do that with Arabs, the same one that you can only pull up in 2020 when somebody spray painted George Floyd. Well, you know what? You wouldn't have to spray paint them if you ain't call the police. You wouldn't have to call the police if you wasn't in our communities doing the same things that you do all the time.
Oh, well, they would condemn you there. Or if you're black and you're in this weird mentality of, well, they don't stand by us. It doesn't matter. Because right now, a crime, a injustice, a genocide is happening, and we should have the moral fiber to stand up against that regardless of who helps us. But also, it's just untrue. And it's just a lazy cop-out for y'all to get away from having to do the emotional labor of the right thing.
Oh, boy. And now black people was just being goofy for a long
Hey, that's
time.
also-
And that's just the thing that's been pissing me off. I was going to come on here and say something positive, but like a lot of us is goofy as hell.
The chicken.
And it's something I don't know what to tell you. Like, I was like, yo, we doomed earlier. I'm not going to lie.
But maybe it comes from a lack of understanding, but fundamentally, all the atrocity that have been happening in Palestine, that have been happening in Tigray, that have been happening in Sudan, that have been happening in Congo, they're all caused by the same things, right? All the bad things that have happened throughout history essentially have been caused. You can dumb it, you can like simplify it down to pretty much the same things: imperialism and capitalism. That greed for money and power that the few percent have is what has led this. Is what has caused this. The systems in place here that hold black people back, it is a direct line to that. So then, if we understand that these are all the same things, you then understand why you have to fight for people across the globe who are dealing with atrocities, because it's the same issues there that are hurting us here. It's the same thing. Oh,
see, this is the same thing that got y'all on that black and brown nonsense. That was like, y'all remember that? Oh, their babies was in the cages. Their babies was in the cages. We got to fight for this. And now their babies is getting winter coats and apartments and jobs and everything else.
Also, you should just have empathy, even if it had nothing to do with you. You should just have empathy at the end of the day. Like, damn, these niggas is like they're dying. Like, what you need more than that? After understanding that, then we can move on.
You know what we need more than that? We need to not die. That's what we need more than that. You know what I'm saying? We need to not die first before we can help anybody else not die. How about that? You know, how about you start there, you Mr. Humanitarian? That's what we need more. You know what I'm saying? We need to not die first. You know what I'm saying? Or at least, you know what I'm saying, control our damn food first or something. Something that you can do, right? And this is the problem, right? Because I can get when you talk about a quote unquote allyship if you understand. But when you sit there and say, I don't give a damn what anybody does for me, I'm just gonna love everybody and do the right damn thing, even if they grow up to oppress me, I'm not gonna do nothing. Like, do you see how like sometimes even when you look at other people, that it's kind of like we so goofy that we like, oh yeah, well, this slave master is better. You know what I'm saying? We just goofy as hell right now. And that's the problem, right? With any of this quote unquote allyship. You're just too goofy to do it.
The boycotts. Throughout history, boycotting has just been something that people have done because they know if you make the logical connection here. If people are run by money, if the government is run by money, if these billion-dollar corporations are going to do whatever they want to do because of money, you then boycott to keep the money from them as best as you can, as best as we the people can. That's the whole point. When in India, when they were trying to get rid of their British colonizers, they were boycotting. That's like Gandhi's whole thing, right? And then which then led to Martin Luther King always talking about how we need to be boycotting.
Oh, yeah, you mean the Gandhi was like, yeah, don't forget them N words too, by the way. But
And him using things that he has seen about
that's another part of being goofy too. We don't even know who hate us at this point.
of other countries where they were boycotting. That's what we were boycotting here. When I hear people be like, I don't give a fuck, I'm not boycotting Starbucks. You one of those same people. If you saw Rosa Parks sitting on a bus, you would have been like, go to the back. What the fuck are you doing over here? You know how crazy you sound?
Great idea. So when we be like, yo, stop, like, what's the whatever they are, you know what I'm saying, the Israelis, you know what I'm saying, Mexicans, you know what I'm saying, the Arabs, you know what I'm saying, the same people who call the police the Palestinians, you know what I'm saying. When we say, oh, well, a Palestinian called the police on George Floyd, so let's boycott the Palestinian stores. Or Asian dude beat up black women, so let's not go to I ain't doing that boycott. But you're gonna get on code with these boycotts now. Well, that's the first boycott. We're not gonna go to these Asian stores or these Palestinian stores in our community because they be calling the police on us. I love that. That's the first boycott. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that idea.
To bring it to Ethiopia, when Ethiopia was getting attacked by Italy during World War II, well, we were attacked twice, but when we were attacked one of the times, Black Americans here were boycotting Italian American shops in New York to show support to us because Black Americans here wanted to go and like help in the war.
Wait, who the hell is us? But yeah, Black people in America, yeah. That's the thing. We haven't learned from the last. Well, I don't give us a pass after 1800, to be honest with you. But we haven't learned from the last 70, 80 years that you support these people, you get stabbed in the back. We tried to help the Indians. They stabbed you in the back. In the 1500s, the Indians stabbed you in the back. And in 2023, the Mexicans stabbed you in the back right now. So,
but they couldn't. And so because of that, they were like, okay, we're going to boycott Italian Americans here. And it showed a lot of support. It brought us together. Like this boycotting, you being like, nigga, I don't want. Fuck Starbucks. I'm going to get something else. I'm going to get coffee from somewhere else. That's all. You want coffee?
Yeah, forget that white tea. I ain't going to get it from this corner store no more. I'm going to get it from somewhere else. Facts. Now, this is something that I just, because, we got all this energy looking goofy for everybody else who stabbed you in the back. But I just heard about this, right? This is what's going on in Canada with Jamaicans, you know what I'm saying, and the migrant workers, right?
A call for change from a group of unnamed Jamaican migrant farm workers in Niagara, penning an open letter to Jamaica's Minister of Labor, who was visiting farms in the region. As it currently stands, the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program is systemic slavery. We are robots to them. They don't care about us. Released through the advocacy group Migrant...
And when they say trying to treat them like slaves, it's like true. Like, I know some of y'all like, oh yeah, well, they're going to bring this and that back, but...
Workers Alliance for Change. It alleges overcrowded housing, problems with rats, and exposure to pesticides without proper protection, along with allegations of threatening or intimidating behavior by employers. They want the Jamaican and Canadian governments to act.
They got
Say
drugged
they
with
are
no
too
conscience.
afraid of reprisal to speak against their employers publicly.
The entire system is entirely based on exploitation and abuse, and significant changes need to be made immediately.
Today, the federal ministry that oversees the Foreign Temporary Farm Workers Program is calling the
No,
allegations...
Canada is not overseas. It's like enslavement of black folk, Jamaicans is black people, you know what I'm saying? It's an enslavement of black people in Canada right now. Like, they be like, Canada is not racist, oh, absolutely not.
Inhumane and violations of the rules, saying it is communicating with Ontario's Ministry of Labor, which says its investigation is
How is that
ongoing.
funny?
CHCH News reached out to both farms named in the letter. One got back to us calling the allegations completely false.
I was perplexed and surprised to see Third World
living conditions in Canada.
Father Antonio Ilias works closely with migrant workers in Niagara and says he's seen problems with housing and worker treatment at some farms, but not all. He says the bigger problem is the program's design.
The power structure is very uneven,
which he says keeps workers from speaking up about problems, afraid of a potential reprisal.
If they say something, they will no longer be requested for the next season.
I'm not going to address the allegations one at a time.
Ken Forth is a Hamilton farmer who employs migrant workers and is part of the Ontario Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association. He says there are multiple levels of oversight and inspection by different levels of government.
Now, this is something they're doing, like, I hate to, bring a history thing to it, but, like, it's like even like after slavery here, they would come to like the Freedmen's Bureau, which was nothing but like rednecks, like on the same side as the other people, who would get them contracts with like their former slave owners, and have them working where they get screwed out is like, the sharecropping system. And in this case, they kind of tell them one thing and, to get them to come over there to do the work. And then they see that this literally the same conditions as like, slavery was,
to ensure.
I don't know if they'd be beating them and hanging them and stuff.
These guys, we have to comply to the Employment Standards Act.
As far as the working
all those
part.
things are covered by workman's compensation. It's just a really good program that unfortunately somebody wants to ridicule. And why do they want to do that? Because they want to unionize them. And in simple terms, they want their money.
The Growers Association.
Like, because they want to get paid. Why would they want to mess this up for us? Because these people want to get paid. So like, let me play this.
Visit, and in it he says to the workers, you have to serve the bosses. By working here, you're serving your country, you're serving your family, but you have to serve the bosses, right? The message that they gave to them is
right, considering this is Canada. They be like, oh, Canada ain't racist, especially compared to America. So I can only wait to see what's happening. I wonder how goofy we're gonna be looking then.
like, just shut up and keep working. And why not? I mean, Jamaica is effectively, and like countries like Philippines and Indonesia, the entire GDP is now being based on exporting people
what up, Erica?
who can then send remittances back home. So there's this kind of alliance between the employers, the government of Canada, the government of sending countries to keep people just quietly working because everyone's making money off of it. When you have a problem at work, right, if your boss is paying you low wages, they're allowed to, really. What you can do is you can leave the job or you can stand up and fight. You can take them to court, right? So it's a system based on complaints. Your landlord can jack up your rent, but you can go to the tribunal and fight them. It's about power. For farm workers, their boss's name is written on their permit. They're not allowed to work for anyone else, right? So they live in employer-controlled homes. So now you speak up, suddenly you're kicked out on the streets, you're homeless, you can't work anywhere else, you're starving. Not just that, as I said, bosses have all these tricks to get you out of the country, and they can ban you from coming back. Breaks during work sessions excluded. There are people working on these farms, in this, I don't know, think about strawberries, right? We all love strawberries. You have to be on your hands and knees without shade the entire day. And you can't even get up to go to the bathroom. I mean, we call it a human rights catastrophe. What we're seeing is that people are being abused, getting injured, living with pestilence.
No, I'm saying this is our fault. If we ever realize, right, nothing moves unless we say so. From like, if black people ever got on, it's like black people with the land. Like when I was young, I used to go places, like you go somewhere, and I used to wonder why, like, it's so beautiful here, but it's so much poverty in the places where black people are, but it's really not poverty. And if we ever understood that, and like how none of these nations will be able to operate that they doing, all of this is our fault because we is still so goofy, and shit, you say a lot of goofy stuff yourself. So
Pesticides, rats are eating their food, they're being mistreated by their bosses, working particularly right now, 7 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day.
Anywhere that they are.
Because that is the immigration system we have. Workers are being exploited because the employers can just get away with it. One day the employer came home, came to their houses, the bunkhouse, and started flipping tables and breaking their stuff, saying they hadn't been working fast enough.
It would seem to me like this is
and this is why that, because we
fast enough.
And no disrespect to this.
It would seem to me like this is all about the almighty dollar, and our people are just treated like disposable humans.
Can't
If
believe
they
it.
get sick, they are not asked back. If they get sick while on the job and they get better, they will come back to find their bags packed and they're shipped back. If they pass away due to an injury while on the job, they're just sent back and that's the end of it. And this is the conditions that they're facing. And the Jamaican government needs to do better to ensure that our people are treated with dignity and
Right. And I don't know, like, I don't know.
Workers were sent back to the Caribbean from an Ontario farm after holding a strike in protest of their workplace conditions.
Some days you're working, some days you're not. You don't pick and choose the days you want to work. That's not the way this works.
In a video obtained by CTV News Toronto, a man can be seen shouting and swearing at workers over their refusal to work. A previous video posted on social media shows a row of overflowing toilets with shower curtains acting as doors. The workers arrived in Canada in the spring and were scheduled to remain at the farm until the fall, but they were sent home on August 8th instead. Jamaica's Labour Minister says an investigation has since been launched. And the federal government says it is reviewing the circumstances of the workers' departure. The farm, however, has not responded to repeated interview requests from CTV News Toronto. For more on this story, I am joined live by Tanita Doma, member of Justice for Migrant Workers. Tanita, good to have you.
Oh, yeah. We talk about Africa, you know what I'm saying? And the same thing that's happening over there. We talking about a complete, and see, and that's your problem, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about their individual. Who cares about any of them or what they feel? It's their whole system that has to be destroyed. Just like all of the minerals that's in Africa, which is why they fund all of these things in these countries and lead up to all of that stuff. But Black people is acting goofy all over the world. It's first riflemen in Africa in every country. You know what I'm saying? Which is how we end up in these same situations all the time, because we always got to find a way to be like, oh, well, these peoples ain't so bad. And, you know what I'm saying? That's just the mentality that I'm used to, you know what I'm saying? And this is the whole point, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a repetitive, goofy nature that we somehow develop. Well, we seem to think that, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe we can escape it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? There's nowhere that you can go on the earth that you don't have to stand up to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you do it. You destroy it everywhere that is at. You know what I'm saying? And that's the important thing. And I don't care where on earth it is. You know what I'm saying? We need something that we need, and that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? See, this is the mentality, you know? This is always something goofy that we say because we don't want to confront the truth of reality, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna be looking goofy, you know what I'm saying, when we working 17 hours on them lands if you don't get replaced by the Mexicans first.
Have you on. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
So I'll just start by asking for, you've seen this video, obviously, in some of these pictures. What's your reaction to this alleged treatment of these migrants?
So this is a specific situation, of course, but unfortunately for our group, Justice for Migrant Workers, this is not a one-off situation. This is part of an underlying problem with the temporary foreign worker program. It's employer-driven. It gives employers the power to unilaterally terminate a contract and send workers.
Well, let me play the video.
That's not the way this works.
That's what first rifleman got to get used to.
Some days you're working, some days you're not. You don't pick and choose the days you want to work. That's not the way this works.
In a video obtained by CTV News Toronto, a man can be seen shouting and swearing at workers over their refusal to work. A previous video.
Been the case when workers are speaking up about the conditions that they're facing in the
So,
work.
and then they say they get sent back, you know what I'm saying? But listen, and I understand, like, that's a British colony, you know what I'm saying, with Jamaica, but like, we just watched that bitch die with like the jury of your people, of our people on her, you know what I'm saying? Like, and yo, it's like we looking goofy, like, yo, like we want this and we want that. You're gonna have to take it at the end of the day. So I'm like,
This is one of the bunkhouses workers come home to. Another garage, this one, we're told, for 13 men. And then there's this.
Nah, y'all don't listen to the First Rifleman. He's just trying to troll, trying to do that. But, you know, he's a prime example of, like, the goofy thing that I'm talking about. That's why I'm not even mad. Like, they should, like, these people, like, everything works out like it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a prime example. It's a different from what that sister said earlier, because it's, like, all different kinds of, like, clones, you know what I'm saying? And this is what we got to break out of, you know? So...
From a neighboring farm.
What the heck is happening on farms across Canada? At least 12 migrant farm workers have died on Canadian farms in 2022, 4 in the last week alone. Those numbers coming from the Migrant Worker Alliance. It's why migrant farm workers are sounding the alarm on what they are calling systemic slavery, as more stories about concerning living conditions and questionable compensation surface. While this isn't something new for those affected, this story is making waves again in light of a Jamaican migrant worker who recently died on an Ontario farm. It now has many Canadians questioning what is really happening on farms across this country. Well, we're going to tell you what we know so far. Hey, it's Brandon Gomez, and before we go any further, I need you to do a few things, like subscribing to this channel, tap that notification. 4 people have died working on Canadian farms, all in the last week alone. The most recent was Jamaican migrant worker Garvin Yap, who died on August 14th at Burlow's Best Farm in Simcoe, Ontario. According to authorities, Yap was operating farm equipment at the time of his death. He was just 57 years old. A vigil was held for him at the farm, but news of his death has sparked outrage amongst Canadians looking for answers about the conditions in place that may have contributed to his death. Here's what we know. Yap worked under the Seasonal Agricultural Program for 35 years. The program has been criticized for taking advantage of migrant workers and people from poorer countries, but at the same time has been called essential because it helps fill the farm jobs that Canadians refuse to do. So here's how the Seasonal Agricultural Worker Program works. It basically allows Canadian farms to hire temporary foreign workers when Canadians and permanent residents are not available to do those jobs. These foreign workers are typically granted work permits for a max of 8 months out of the year from an approved list of countries that include Mexico and a host of Caribbean nations like Jamaica, Barbados, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Trinidad and Tobago. The workers who apply for this program usually don't have much choice and are desperately in need of work that cannot be found in their home country to support themselves and their families. Now,
all right. Melanated Goddess said, we end up in these situations because America destabilized people and the country, then make people migrate for survival. Yeah. You know, and that's the thing. That's why they fund all of these things, you know, when people try to get the right government, they fund something to destabilize the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a common tactic that is always used because there is always a goofy ass black person sitting there trying to be accepted by somebody else. And it's like always, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it, you know, and then we can just get so tricked so easily because we want to get away from who we are as like black people and blackness, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Yeah, I ain't worry about First Rifleman, you know what I'm saying? I understand how trolling works, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to get under y'all skin. That's why I'm like, you know, don't let him get under y'all skin. So
This story is so disturbing, and I can't believe more people don't know about it. The Sunday Times did an investigative piece on how European modeling agencies go to refugee camps in East Africa to scout for models. If they don't book work, they send them right back, often with debt. Particularly, they're looking for South Sudanese models who, according to the podcast I was listening to, are the hottest thing right now. They say because there's been a push for diversity recently, they're looking for tall models with dark skin who of course are beautiful like South Sudanese women are, and also have an interesting story given that they're refugees. One woman says an agency came to the camp, recruited.
So, and this is the same thing, the other one is like, they try to go to Canada trying to get, but here, I know a lot of y'all know what's going on in East Africa. Now, I wonder if the sister before who's talking all this stuff about how we need to be ally, if she knows or has the same energy about this, you know what I'm saying? So, and listen, if to not be a troll, you have to be like, not use a talking point that wasn't brought up on like the Donahue show in the 90s, bro. Like, if I can look up interview with Louis Farrakhan on the Donahue show and they say the same thing, bro, it's trolling at this point, bro.
Her, told her to lose 11 pounds. Mind you, she lives in a refugee camp and she said herself she was already skin and bones. They then sent her to Paris without a jacket during the winter, were not in touch with her for 3 days. And when they were in touch with her, they sent her to castings. And when it didn't work out, they sent her right back to the camp, this time with 2,300 pounds in debt. She says her first reaction was, what did I do wrong? Because she thought this was going to be an opportunity for her to provide for her family. She then was so depressed, she attempted to end her life 2 to 3 times and almost succeeded. According to one agency mentioned, they say that they are clear with the models that they are not permanently moving them, only giving them an opportunity to be successful. Select Model Management, which is also mentioned, says that they have changed the lives of hundreds of models. They also say, what's the danger in inviting them for a...
So, they're taking these young sisters, over in East Africa, going through what they're going through. And they sending them over to Europe, like talking about you're going to be a model, but they're not giving them no money, no nothing. When they get there, they have nothing, nowhere to stay or anything. And if they catch on, then the modeling agency get most of the money. But if they don't, then they owe the modeling agency money. I don't know why, because they really don't give them anything, but they owe them money for just for being there. So, they just selling them this dream, you know what I'm saying? But for some reason, like, we can still trust, everybody else, and I don't get it,
Trip that can potentially change their lives. The article has a paywall, but you can listen to the story on this podcast.
I say that's the name of the show, Goofy. You know what I'm saying? It's just goofy, at this point.
From Stories of Our Time, just put in models.
Oh no, smelly garbage disposal. Show mercy. Whatever shall.
All right, let me see.
Story is.
All right, so the same thing happening with those, young sisters. They're taking advantage of them, and this is like one of the people they used as a model, they'll get First Rifleman on stage looking goofy like this, trying to sell it to other young people, as if it's not a scam,
I think many people are surprised to hear that I had a great upbringing here at Kakuma. But I was happy, I was smart, I had friends, and didn't always know where kids at the camp, and even started embracing some of their cultures, celebrating how.
All right, so this is unimportant what she's saying, but they use people like her to sell it to other Black women, especially, and I don't know whatever, but they use people like this to sell it to Black women and people in desperate situations, like, to give them the 4-letter word. What did Obama say? I hope, So you give us that 4-letter word, hope, we so superstitious, we can run with it for hundreds of years before we be like, hey, wait a minute, this ain't working. So, it only took us like 60 this time to realize that we have no friends, after, because speaking of refugee, you know what I'm saying? I want you to see, because my brother MV2 been talking about it for a while, like, you know, how a lot of black people, like, the job's gonna be scarce and it's gonna be hard to work, you know what I'm saying? Even back to when Joe Biden said, you know, America is doomed not just because of the African Americans, but because of the Hispanic whatever, you know, and then you're gonna end up losing a lot of time on your job and all of that stuff. So here they have, like, for the refugees, you know what I'm saying, in Chicago, even though they have a lot, and if you don't think the same thing is gonna happen with the next refugee friends, that's whatever you pick, it's probably gonna be the Israeli refugees, but well, they're not gonna have no refugees, but the Palestinian refugees who can get more stores so they can be another George Floyd, and then maybe they can paint a mural of that person. But, you know.
New at 6, setting up refugees living in Chicago for success. That's the aim of this packed job fair in Ravenswood. It brought out hundreds of people looking for work. A lot of companies say they are committed to providing the support they need to excel in the workforce. CBS.
Let's talk about the money that is being spent. I think that there needs to be a federal audit against the company that we have contracted out to take care of the migrants. We have nurses that are being paid $64,000 a month. We have security officers that are being paid as much as $24,000 a month. We have home health care workers that are being paid up to $17,000 a month. You don't think that Chicagoans could have benefited from that? We have citizens in the city that have been on the waiting list for affordable housing for years, and migrants have been bumped in front of them. We have people who have been given up to $9,000 a month for housing assistance. That amount of money can be life-changing.
Like, now y'all remember when Trump was there, he was like, black and brown, and black people, like, they got their babies in cages. This is wrong. It don't matter what they do for us. It don't matter if they got a word for the N-word there too. You know what I'm saying? This is wrong. They got their babies in cages. Now, guess what those babies in cages finna do to your babies? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So that's all I'm saying now is by then. And then black and brown is over. Black and yellow is over. You know what I'm saying? It was all these things when Trump was in office. You know what I'm saying? Right now is, what do we call the era? Is brown too? So it's black and brown again. So we tried with one brown. Let's try with another brown. Maybe that'll work. You know, I don't know. So here they are getting these work permits, and consider talk about construction and a lot of those jobs that a lot of black people did take and did get, and also the wage that you get. You know what I'm saying? It drives that down. So, like, you know, just in that whole area when it comes to that, you just be careful about who you know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to be looking goofy again.
Judy, that's right. This pilot program only applies to those migrants who've arrived in the U.S. before July 31st. So only about half of those who've come to Chicago can apply. But for them, it could be a game changer. A common goal of migrants coming to Chicago is to get a job, to support themselves and their families, and to get out of shelters or tents outside police stations. Today, the first 150 eligible new arrivals began the application process to get permits authorizing them to get jobs.
Immigrants are excited, and they're happy to be able to receive the assistance that they need to be able to apply for work permits. They have a lot of questions about how fast they will get here. They have questions about how to find a job in the meantime.
Part of the process involves getting fingerprinted and having criminal background checks done. The application process is a joint effort with the Resurrection Project, the city, and the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, the clinics being held at undisclosed locations.
If we're in a situation where we have too many people, we won't be able to serve everybody, and it may create a little bit more chaos than necessary, right?
The effort, the result of the city's request for help that began in September and led to a visit last month by a team from Homeland Security to assess the city's migrant situation.
Until about mid-February, there'll be a little over 30 sessions, and each one aims to serve 300 people, so that in this period, we will be able to help approximately 11,000 people get their work authorization programs.
But for many in communities like Little Village, this new program is somewhat bittersweet because while it's helping new migrants, many people who have waited for years to get their work permits are...
Yeah, I heard that Asia town next is going to be a Mexico town coming soon. Now, I want you to hear what they said to you. You know what I'm saying? Now, you need to shut your mouth and be some damn good allies. You know what I'm saying? We need you to look goofy.
Well, good afternoon. And that push really began on Tuesday when...
That's all I'm trying to say. You don't want to be looking goofy out here and not prepared. As Cassandra said, you have your candy bar with your extra peanuts. Because they was talking about Chicago crime before. Now, all of a sudden, they want to move in. What happened to all this crime in Chicago? You would think nobody want to go to Chicago, right? But you talk about crime, like, wait till they start bringing that cartel nonsense up here. You know what I'm saying?
And some aldermen began trying to get the wording straight on what could possibly be a ballot question to Chicago voters on the city's sanctuary status, sanctuary city status, whether or not people want to keep that status or not. However, it really turned into chaos after that. Migrant crisis and sanctuary city status inside City Hall this morning.
This is what unity looks like.
Dozens rallied outside with a clear message.
When we organize, we win.
Black and
When we are
Asian.
divided, we lose.
Organizers from several community groups representing Black and brown communities wanted to show that they are united in defeating any attempt to put Chicago's welcoming city ordinance up for a vote, non-binding or not.
It does nothing but sow harmful division. It does not address the solutions our city and new arrivals are facing, and it does nothing to address the challenges of disinvested communities.
Tuesday's meeting to discuss the ballot question quickly turned into chaos, with at least one person being detained by police and the meeting being postponed. Antonio Gutierrez says,
listen to what Antonio Gutierrez says.
He was the man detained.
I am extremely sad after seeing all the hate on Tuesday. Hate, especially coming from other oppressed communities.
Oh, you about to say anti-Semitism or something? What the hell? This is almost some hate. You about to pull the anti-Semitism card?
Hate, especially coming from other oppressed communities. And I am extremely disappointed at the elected officials at City Council that are using this moment to push their anti-immigrant and xenophobic political agendas.
So this anti-Mexican you Negroes are for saying that. But your sister asked a good question. She said, why aren't Black Venezuelans immigrating to Chicago? Where are the Black immigrants coming to Chicago? You know what I'm saying? Well, since we're talking about immigration. So
If you want a glimpse into what's going to happen, look at how people of color are being treated in Venezuela right now.
what up, MG2? Well, all right, I'm gonna check it in a minute, my brother.
We seem to forget that Venezuela was one of the first places that had African slaves that they were taken to.
Yeah.
We're forgetting about that. And so we're forgetting that there are blacks in Venezuela who are being treated the same way we are. And so for us to expect that they're going to come here and be put into our society and treat us differently is a pipe dream.
Yeah.
And what
I'll let her say this one more time, right? Because why the hell? That's a good question. Why? Where are the Black people, immigrants, that's supposed to be coming over here? Right? It's my damn tax. I'm looking goofy now. You know what I'm saying? Because my tax dollars paying for all this stuff, so I'm looking goofy too. You know, what are you gonna do, right?
say to you, if you want a glimpse into what's going to happen, look at how people of color are being treated in Venezuela right now. We seem to forget that Venezuela was one of the first places that had African slaves that they were taken to.
Yeah.
We're forgetting about that. And so we're forgetting that there are blacks in Venezuela who are being treated the same way we are. And so for us to expect that they're going to come here and be put into our society and treat us differently is a pipe dream.
Oh, Black and Brown essay. They was putting their babies in cages. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You just got to love everybody, and then maybe, I don't know when we're gonna get tired of looking goofy as hell. I don't know. Look, this dude was looking goofy. He found out the hard way. This this dude, he was cooning for them or whatever they call their coons. I don't know, like I don't know no Spanish, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to learn it, you know, according to Biden. But he was doing the yes sir in Spanish, you know what I'm saying? He was doing the si senor to the white people, and now he found out the Howard way that they don't accept them, even though, you know, like even when most of them come here, they are against immigration and all that kind of stuff too, you know what I'm saying? But it's only one group of people that don't realize, you know what I'm saying, you can't love nobody else until you love your damn self, right? The Mexicans might try to be like the gringos, but they gonna find out, but not before our stuff is destroyed, you know what I'm saying? Not before they get used as the tool that they are to be a weapon against us, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? In the words, like, you know.
Oh, God, I'm listening to y'all motherfuckers. It pisses me off. None of y'all motherfuckers know this. You're my friend, man.
All these cowards. They say, you're my friend. I love you.
The shit that happens on this goddamn cowards hurts. I can't go hang out.
Now, they said if you riding with somebody from across the border, it's like, I don't know, they're going to go to jail or something. I don't know what they said.
I can't go hang out with my... I can't drive my brother, my cousin. Okay? I can't take them anywhere, bro. I can't go to a boiler. I can't go to a baptism because my community is being attacked. Y'all don't understand that what y'all do hurts our community. It hurts us personally, bro.
He was like, you telling the gringos like they gonna give a damn, like y'all in my face, you damn, whatever they call them, you damn East Arab.
What y'all do hurts our community. It hurts us personally, bro.
Damn gringo.
It hurts us.
Just let us debate it.
It hurts us to our core, and y'all don't understand that. Y'all don't live in our skin. Y'all don't, man. And that's what pisses me off. I sit there. I've been a good soldier to him.
I've been a good, what we would say was a boy or a Negro, but whatever they call themselves, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the coon version of the Spanish do. I'm like, I sat there and I kissed your handpots. Listen, First Rifleman and the rest of the goofy people out there, I kissed your handpots all this time. And this is what you do to me, gringo?
Sit there. I've been a good soldier to him.
I've been a good.
That's right. To my own detriment. That's right. To my own detriment.
To my own detriment. You see this? Negroes, to your own detriment. And it just never works out for you. It just never does. Like, I stopped giving passes after 1800. I'm going to be honest. Like, we've been goofy for a long time. I'm going to be real with you. Now, I tried to show this stuff earlier, 1967. Go back. That's when we wasn't as goofy as we are today. You know what I'm saying? We got to learn the hard way, just like this fool do.
That's right. To my own detriment.
What up, Coco?
In the cutoff debate, when all of our members are trying to have a debate, a civil debate. Nobody's gotten crazy. We're just trying to have a debate. Let the chips fall where they may. We know where the bill's going. Let us debate what we need to debate. Let us blow some steam.
Debate? What are you talking about? You East Arab debate? He's talking to the gringos.
What we need to debate. Let us blow some steam. But that's. I've been here 16 years. I've never seen it.
Well, 16 years is a long time to be like, you know what I'm saying? Si, senor, you know, just to get stabbed in the back. I just want us to learn that lesson before we get stabbed in the back again. All right, y'all. I talked about the Palestine stuff, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to show at least something on this, you know what I'm saying? Because I talked about that, you know what I'm saying? Just to be fair. And if y'all want to come on here, you know what I'm saying, let me know and I'll put the link in the chat, you know.
Of Congo launched a new offensive north of the provincial capital Goma, despite efforts to broker peace and other African countries marshalling their troops to help suppress the insurgency. Fighting has continued unabated, forcing thousands to be displaced and hundreds being killed in the violence. Here's a report from Bambo.
Confused and in fear, these residents in Bambo, north of Goma, are fleeing to save their lives. Mothers clutching their belongings and children.
Let me see if we can find a Palestinian in here somewhere, or if they got something to say about this one, or any of the Arab genocide, ethnocide, whatever they call it. Well, they try to kill us, you know what I'm saying? Let's see if they talk about this.
Children. Even the elderly had to scamper as mortar fire and rounds of automatic weapons were heard on the southern outskirts of the town. This village had been calm in recent months, but rebels destroyed the peace. It is reported that M23 rebels launched a new offensive north of the provincial capital Goma, as fighting with pro-government armed groups continued further south. Panic-stricken residents sought refuge in government-controlled areas.
We were in Bambo when we heard the bombs detonating, so we fled straight away. Now we are on our way down to Kirima, but we don't know where our final destination will be.
When we were in Bambo, we heard that the M23 had just taken Kabizo. My aunts and their families took refuge in a house and was set on fire inside. No one got out alive. Everyone perished.
Earlier in October, in a rare victory against the Rwanda-backed M23, the loyalist militias regained the strategic town of Kishanga in North Kivu.
MG2, Bukari, Koku, yo, what up, William Bell? I didn't even say what up to you, my brother. Melanated Goddess, Erica, Cassandra, any of y'all want to come on here?
Masisi province. In the same month, a military court sentenced an MP to death on charges of treason and involvement in the M23 rebel movement. The death penalty is often handed down in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but has not been applied for 20 years and is systematically commuted to life imprisonment. The accused was not present at the sentencing.
Faisant application de l'article 7.
Applying Article 7 of the Military Penal Code, the single most severe capital punishment, in other words, the death penalty.
À savoir la peine capitale, c'est-à-dire la peine de mort.
This is Kenyan President William Ruto and his Angolan counterpart, João Lourenço, called on the M23 rebels to join a cantonment or a military garrison or camp away from the public.
We believe that it is an achievable aim to engage in consultation, stabilize eastern part of DRC, and allow the people of DRC in general to benefit from their progress, from their development, and from stability and progress in their region.
The M23, which has captured swathes of territory in North Kivu province since 2021, is one of several militias holding sway over much of the region, despite the presence of peacekeepers. Democratic Republic of Congo's government has recently intensified security around Goma, North Kivu's capital and home to over 1 million people. The United Nations Humanitarian Agency says almost 200,000 people have had to flee their homes since the 1st of October in Rushuru and Masisi territory, north of Goma. Independent UN experts, the Kinshasa government, and several Western nations, including the United States and France, accuse Rwanda of backing the Tutsi-led M23, which Kigali denies. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION is now available in your...
All right, so listen, you know, at the end of the day, until we realize that we are all we got and nobody is coming to save us, nobody is going to help us, you know, we have no friends. Salute to my brother Rashid, you know. And until we can learn that we have to work together, you know what I'm saying, like that, we all we got. You know, we ain't going nowhere. Even if that's on a local level, you know what I'm saying, then do that. You know, because it's coming up soon. We're not gonna have no jobs. My brother MV2 was saying it for a while. You know, some of us, Cassandra, Bakari, me, been talking about like stack this and stack that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been saying a lot of this stuff for a while. Like, but pretty soon, like, it's gonna be like more and more. Your jobs might be cutting the hours and stuff like that, because you know we just be so goofy that we don't even realize that we don't have no ability to protect ourselves, and it's no way that we can love ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and Philadelphia, all the stuff that you know that be going on up there. They got water issues up there. They got so many issues that they got going on in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I wanted to do something that was more positive, but at the end of the day, you know, it's hard to be positive because, like, at this point, I was like, damn, man, we might be late. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't lose hope. But at the end of the day, like, I hate for it to be in a different way. I want it to be in a positive way, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. You know what I'm saying? It just don't look good for us. It's like we got this acceptance thing that we want, this complex, but we got to be accepted. We are so spooked out. Anything and everything can trick us and have us, you know what I'm saying, caught up into it. It's just real difficult, you know what I'm saying? So let me put the link in there. All right, let me try to, because I was supposed to even do something positive, but I couldn't even do that, you know. But I'm going to go out with some positive, you know what I'm saying? I know people might have something negative to say about even the person, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's the self-hatred, you know, and I don't understand or how to, you know, how that's the same thing that keeps happening over and over, you know. All right. Hopefully it worked and it don't freeze up. All right, my brother Rashid came on here. What's up, my brother Rashid?
What's up, brother? Forecast. I ain't been up here for a minute. I said, let me slide through here to talk to you stage. I said, let me come up here, represent. I ain't been up here your stage for a minute, brother. Man, this is sad, man. I told myself, man, I be saying the same thing you be saying. We all we got, man. People look at me like I'm crazy. I say, man, you too be looking at other race that to save you. They're not gonna save you, and they showing you right in front of us. They don't give a damn about us. Well, we gonna realize that we all we got. We don't have no friends. Got to wake the hell up. Stop looking to somebody to save you. Save yourself and get rid of your self-hatred. Stop hating on yourself. Love yourself. Be proud of yourself. Stop being ashamed of yourself that you ain't nothing. You've been told all these lies since you've been on this planet. In the day, we are the best thing on this planet. Once we know who we are, man, and get back our true identity ourselves, man, we can take over overnight. That's how powerful we are. But our people are so afraid of black power, we refuse to do it. But I know one thing, it's about to get worse for black America. If we don't come together, man, I don't know what to tell you. We are in serious waking soon. We better come together, stop being hard, stop being, man. I like what you're doing, brother. Forecast. Keep doing what you're doing, man, because in the day, I'm going to continue play my part and do what I gotta do. Cause we don't have no friends. So I'm gonna keep saying it. Till the day I die, I wanna make a t-shirt about that. We all we got. I need to come up with a t-shirt with that.
Yeah, facts.
Yes. You got what else you got anything else for the
No,
forecast?
no, yeah. First of all, I appreciate you for coming on here. Salute to my brother Rashid, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, my brother. I'm like, right now we might be looking goofy back in slavery right now because so many of us is out here looking. You know how many black people, not just on here, but if you look in the real world, that just be like, oh, people of color, even if they recognize black and racism, and it's like this racism is bad and anti-racism. It's like we're not realizing that we have to go for our own to build our own, go for the throne. Like Like, we are a group of people, you know what I'm saying, that has no other choice but to come together to do the things that we have to do. But we just so goofy. Like, we like, oh, let's stand up for this, let's stand up for that. Anything but ourselves. We anything but black, you know what I'm saying? And we might be in trouble, bro. We might be late. Like MD2 said, we better find somewhere to hide right now. So
Yo, we're gonna be in serious trouble. We don't come and build and do our own thing. Like I like what Tina Barry and them doing. You need to get with them. And Tina Barry, you ever listen to their platform? Tina Barry
I don't know
and
what that
Mind
is.
Gaming them. They be talking about building their own land, like they put their money together and build their own land. Like they getting out of this situation. They separating themselves. They all about for their people, building for their black culture. They about building black. You want to be watching their platform?
No, I never heard of. Can you put in you said Tina who? Tina what?
Tina Barry.
Tina Barry.
Yeah, she got Tina Barry and Mind Game. Mind Game. You got a Mind Game. They be talking about building and all that, getting their own land and doing it for their own, like, and separate and open their own, create their own community. They all about building. They always putting their work in.
That's what's up. I never heard of them. I gotta look them up.
They be on YouTube. They on YouTube.
Yeah, I gotta look that up. Cause I was
Type
definitely
in Mind Game. I'm gonna give you my man George called Mind Game. Mind Game Uncut.
Yeah, can you put it in the chat?
Yeah, I can put it in the chat.
All right.
I'm gonna put Mind Game Uncut. He on YouTube. You can't miss it. I'm gonna put it's gonna come right up. Once I put that Mind Game Uncut, it's gonna come right up. It talk about and they had one of them YouTube. They was talking about how immigrants are being flooded. While black people wake the hell up because how they was talking about how immigrants are being flooded in your neighborhood and spitting right in your face. They be talking about real stuff. They be talking about facts about how them immigrants are coming in your community, flooding your neighborhood, and we weren't about going at each other net and trying to compete. Let me tell you something. I'm about to blow your mind up. You know about us being individual mindsets. That's very unnatural. A lot of people, your enemy, that's something your enemy never does since you've been a baby as a kid. We're not supposed to be divided. We're supposed to be working together like other groups do. You don't see no other group go out there outside their race and give their money to the other to us. Know what they do? They capitalize off us. They don't give none of that money back in our community in your kids' tuition funds. Fuck no. In the day, excuse my language, in the day, we got to look out for our own. Cause in the day, all that individual mindset is holding us back. We gotta get out of that self-hatred. Stop hating on yourself. Cause let me tell you, some of your enemy never told you that being individual mindset is very unnatural. Look that up. That's not you didn't even know that, brother Forecast.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
You ain't know that? Individual mindset is not good. That's what they got you programmed. They got you programmed to be individuals. Instead of us working together, putting our money together, putting our money in the pot. We all eating good. We work together. Ain't nobody competing. We all uplifting each other, living a good life. Nobody's not telling each other. We trusting each other. Ain't nobody better than nobody. We all working together like we should. But any day, this system was designed to keep us divided and that we could go at each other net. And we are falling for it as a dummy. In the day, we know better. Because in the day, the information is right in front of us. And these days, there's no more excuse. 2023 is right in front of you. Information is right in front of our face. It's no more excuse. It's on you to accept the truth or perish or perish. Like they say, unite or perish. Either or. You don't have no choice because that day is coming. You want to unite with your brother or you want to perish. You want to go down in the dark, leave you stranded. Ain't no saving you. Cause in the day, I know what I gotta do. I'm only gonna be with people that's about building. They want to wake up and separate and get away from the oppressor. 'Cause you know oppressor is worship is slaughter. By you being oppressed in this country, that's worship being slaughtered and being slaughtered. You ain't know that, did you, brother Podcast?
Yeah, I mean, shit. That's why I'm here. Yeah.
That's worship. That's worship. Yeah. That's worship being slaughtered. What's up, brother Bakari? Glad you made it on the stage.
Yeah. Yo? What's going on, Bakari?
Bakari, glad you made it.
My brother. What's going on, man? How you doing? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
What's good, bro? Hey, yeah. Hey, look, that email I sent you, I was looking at what Grandma used to say, put in the chat. Say how we been invaded. The email I sent you, it was something from the dailymail.com, Daily Mail. Venezuelans, worst gangsters have crossed into the U.S. and it is unleashed in chaos in Dallas, Chicago, and Miami. Man, they say they done came over here with guns and everything. So yeah, we are under. Huh?
I'm gonna pull it up.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. So, and what we don't understand, I ain't gonna say what we don't understand. What a lot of us refuse to understand, right? Is every group of people is for themselves. And while we run around talking about be for everybody, my problem with the be for everybody, right? Ain't nobody ever been for us.
Facts.
When that lady said something about the black Venezuelans, you know, any of those black Latinos, you see all these Guatemalans. You don't see many black Guatemalans. I've seen one. She was cool. I seen one black Guatemalan. But all the other just those like Mexicans. The black people, it don't make a difference where we are. It's how people see us. When they was crying for the babies in the cage, nobody was speaking out. We did, but nobody else really spoke out against what they were doing to black people in the cage down there. How they was holding black men at gunpoint and raping the women down there. You remember that, Forecast? We did a couple shows. You know I did a couple. We did a couple things talking about it, but we are always more concerned about everybody else than ourselves. And it come with this, with the people that teach that stand for everybody. And I'm not gonna blame because they believe in socialism, but I'm not gonna blame socialism. But I understand the more you read it and the more you understand, I understand what Marcus Garvey was saying way back when he was talking in the early 1900s, when he said that socialism came here to divide, and not the people that believe that might be a good way to go, but the people that's out here spreading that message, that's teaching that message. I honestly believe that they know what they are doing. We're the only people in the world, like we gonna do all of a sudden, like, and I have respect for Fred Hampton, but I was listening to one of his things, one of his old messages, and what he said was, it's not about race, it's about class. Now, he was a young man, so somebody have told him that. So let's stand and we gonna get all the poor people together. So now how is it, what make you think you're gonna get somebody together? And these are the poor people, it's poor white folks, is the ones that was doing the robbing, the killing, the murdering. They are the ones that was doing all of that to black people. But everybody know that we are a fractured people. We're fractured mentally, emotionally, and they know that we are searching for something. So it's easy, in today, it's easier to bring some along and create division, create confusion. And there's a lot of things, like I heard Corny West saying the other day, we always been about love and we always stood with everybody. So we ain't just for us. We are for everybody. We, regardless of how y'all treat us, we still for y'all. No, we're not. No, we are not for everybody. Regardless of how people treat you, you still have to be for those people and go stand in their defense. That's why when you ask people about Palestine, like when they mention Palestine, ask them, how are the Palestinians? Think about this. They complain about how they were being oppressed by Israel, right? By Israel, right? But in the process of them being oppressed, they find time to oppress the black people in that country. And it's like they get a pass for that. Even in our mind, in our minds, we come last. We come last in our mind. We can't ever just say, and I'm saying we. Of course, it's not everybody, but I'm talking about a lot of these people standing up speaking for a lot of us black people. We can't ever say anything about black people. It'd have to be we. But those same people can say Palestine, they can say the Mexicans or the Latinos. They can say the poor folks. They can say the working class, but they can't ever just say, okay, how about black people? When they mention us, we have to be mentioned together. And it's easy for this system to put something like that, have people to come in our community to say things like that, because they know we are searching for something. And we're searching for something other than ourselves. Yeah, Mike.
Yeah. This is the article right here, Bukhari. Venezuela worst gangsters have crossed into the U.S. illegally and unleashing chaos in Dallas, Chicago, and Miami, with fearful residents saying they've had their tire/window shot out and retribution for reporting them to the cops. You know, like, yeah, it's like basic cartel stuff going on. You know, they was mad at Trump. He was like, yeah, they're not sending their best people. Europe ain't sending their best people. You know what I'm saying? They ain't sending their best people. And like he said on Veterans Day, you know, I prefer my heroes not to get caught. But yeah, go if you wanted to say something about it, Bukhari.
You talking about those Venezuelans that coming in?
Yeah, that was the article. Yeah, that was the article you said pulled up.
And I'm sorry, I'm on my phone, and Google say on the Android phone they having problems over me. I think in order for nobody,
you gotta use the headphones. You gotta use the headphones.
Yeah, but so those people that's coming into the black neighborhoods, they're coming into the black neighborhoods with their gun. And what I tell people, for me, our only choice, if we want to control something in this country, we ain't gonna control this country. We are way too outnumbered. And I'm not saying, but before you control anything, you have to be able to control your neighborhoods, right? We're not gonna out money them. Not right now. We're 400 years behind. So we have to come up with different plans, like community-owned business, and we have to come up with our community watch, a real community watch that we're doing to protect our neighborhood from people coming in like that. And in that process, we have to understand what a threat is, right? We have to understand the threat. If you understand, you have to be able to recognize a threat and understand a threat, and you have to be able to you have to be willing to step to the threat to make, it can't be one person, right? I heard Rashid say something about individual mind. And I know I don't piss some folks off because I say I'm an individual. But when I go and I say I'm an individual, it's because I've been forced to think like an individual. Like, I can just give an example, like that one day when the motorcycle gang was up there in the neighborhood. Nobody wanted to step to the motorcycle gang but me. So I had to be an individual and do it by myself, because the black men that was around, it's like they don't see a threat. They're just there. Just like the ones who saw the dude in Buffalo. He was just there. You know, and those are some of the things that we're going to have to do if we want to control our neighborhood. And we're going to have to get from just being a buy black challenge and just say, buy black, stop spending your money with these people. That's another thing with that we for everybody. Those people that teach we for everybody and everybody together. That's why it's hard sometimes for us to build and control our community, because if you're for everybody and everybody is the same, you don't see a problem with them in your neighborhood controlling business. Like, I don't believe in the phrase white supremacy, right? But let's just say, I don't use that term, right? That's me. I don't use that. Terms have meanings, and I don't care about somebody feeling that they're supreme to me. They can feel what they want. But anyway, but we'll talk about white supremacy, which keep you focused on white people. Then say the Jews, keep you focused on that set of Jews. But we never say nothing. Those same people that do that teaching, who's popular, very seldom do they talk about the Arabs. Very seldom do they talk about the East Indians. Very seldom do they talk about the Orientals. Very seldom do they talk about the Latinos, Hispanics, whatever they call today, in our community taking business. So if we just focused on one thing, everybody else can just slide in right under, and we're so for everybody. It's okay to give them your money because we're all the same. On that, I yield the mic.
Yep. And we've been that's because that was programmed from your Willis Down syndrome, like Stockholm syndrome. It's been taught from last generation. You gotta understand that all that from my old generation. You know how it's been passed down to your generation to generation. You know how you was taught to think like other race. You gotta erase that. You gotta get rid of that mind culture. Thinking the you know what. The white European mindset. You got to get rid of that. That's what's holding us back. You got to get rid of that self-hatred. That's what's got to go away. That's what's holding us back into the black American. Too much self-hatred towards each other. We making ourselves live like living hell, and we don't have to live like this. Because I did my homework. That I say, damn, all this time about individual mindset, that shit is unnatural. Why you think the other groups, like Europeans, Chinese, and Asian, they all work together? You never see them go out their way, try to please other race, give their money to please us and keep us on our feet. They know what they do. They come in your community, capitalize off your money. They know you're gonna do it. You're gonna give your money to them, and you don't know better. You in your mind, you think that they with you, and they not. They was put in your neighborhood to take all the money out your neighborhood, take all the resources out your neighborhood, and give it back to their neighborhood. And the day it's gonna be on us to get our community back. If we don't, we're gonna be in serious trouble. Cause in the day, all these immigrants are being flooded in from your Democrats. Cause I know one thing. Come the 2024 election, black people better not go out there and vote for Democrats. If they do, it won't be no more black American next year. I promise you on my grandma's grave. If black people go out there and vote for Democrat, we are done as a black people in the country. It ain't gonna be no more black people in this country. Philip Scott talked about that. I know you be watching my man Philip Scott on YouTube. He be going in about black people. He be begging, say, please, black people, don't vote for Democrat. If you do, don't cry about it when something bad happens to you. Because you deserve you worse than Karen Owen if you vote for a Democrat. Come on now. Because in the day, the Democrats are showing you that that's not for us. We all we got. You got to stop looking for hands out. Stop looking for them to look out for you. You've been pimped all your life for 400 years. In the day, that one thing I can say about Chicago people are waking up and they stand up. And we need more, but we need more cities to stand up. It ain't Chicago can't be only city to stand up and fighting back. We need more city to fight back. We need Atlanta to stand up. We need New York, Philly, everybody to stand up. Because if we do that, we can take our power back. That's how powerful we are. Without black people, them Democrats wouldn't be getting the party. Without us, without our vote, they won't be in the power. You ever thought about that, brother? Forecast?
Yeah, I mean, my thing is like, imagine if we put the energy in that we fought to be a part of everything else to do for the things that we had to do for ourselves. Imagine what we'd be, And let me say one thing before we, because I wanted to say something positive before we leave, because I said a lot of stuff, but Bakari, and Rashid Bakari, you know how goofy we are. We haven't named our children like Tyrone in like 20 years. And like Tyrone was actually the responsible one in the song, you know what I'm saying? But we like so goofy, we ain't even named our son Tyrone. But that's the thing, right? Because we was talking about individuals, right? That's the thing. Like you you have to do it as an individual. That's why I understand where you're coming from. But the problem is, right, until it's not an individual thing, you'll keep having to do it as an individual. You feel me? And that's the problem. Until enough of us have the answer, as Raw would say, it's only one answer. Until enough of us know the answer, that's the only thing. And the answer is, right, putting that same energy into us. But for some reason, we don't. We rather just sit there like saying goofy stuff all the time. And I wanted to say something positive, but, we just like talk about Democrat, Republican, what I'm saying, man, woman, religion, demographic, not demographic, but what we are, what we live at, what I'm saying, all different kind of stuff. But we can so-called unite with other people, because all different groups of black people so-called think they can ally with some other group of people. and it always get them as slaves, you know what I'm saying? And that's a trait that we seem to keep having, you know. But I don't know. So let me just show y'all something positive so we can get out of here, because I'm gonna let y'all both speak on that, and then because they're gonna say something bad about this anyway, but it's not the messenger, it's the message, right? Because Sidra was talking about, I wanted to do something positive, start talking about like things to build Black wealth and heal stuff and to like do more positive things, and she's right, but we just like say a lot of goofy stuff. It's just crazy. But so look, I'm just show this as just news for something positive. All right, you know, it's not this dude who's a part of it. He's just reporting on it.
Bank in DC partners with a Black-owned bank from LA to combine assets to over $1 billion and become the largest Black-owned bank in the country. Group economics. It's not the he, it's the we. And it's not Black excellence. It's just excellent.
What?
Done by Black people.
Okay.
Family. We can do the same thing on our micro levels. I've done it in my real life. Syndications, funds, group economics, own things, control assets. I'm on the same goal. $20-50 million funds, $1 billion of.
All right, so it's not the messenger, it's the message. You know what I'm saying? It is what Bakari was just saying about supporting each other and going out the way to do business. Because like from sports to whatever else that you want, if you ever monetize your culture, the things that you do, that because they make money off of everything that you do, you know, and everything that you are, you know. And this is just something that is positive. Is a cheap way out to say something positive, because we ain't really deserve no real stuff, because we ain't really just doing nothing like that, you know. But this is something positive to go towards, saying something positive about building wealth and all that, you know what I'm saying? So they merged to create the largest Black-owned bank in America. So there you have it, you know what I'm saying? Let's just pray they're not saying nothing goofy. But go ahead, Bakari. I'm sorry.
You know what? That's great for them to pull their assets together. That is what we should be doing. But that's why you say it's not the messenger, it's the message. But that's what I always talk about. Like it's just simple things we can do to control your community, man. Like there should not be one Chinaman or East Indian owned laundromat in the Black community. We don't have. You don't even have to. If you, I agree with you. Well, sometimes you're gonna eventually have to get physical. But in the beginning, you don't even have to get physical. All you have to do is just stop going. Stop going. Shut them down. They shouldn't have corner stores there. They shouldn't. And when we come to and we shut them down and we get control of it, we still gonna have to fight. Cause I had a brother, who owned a corner store on the gas station, and everybody, all the Black people over there was going to him. So all those Arabs and everything started complaining because they had the other corner stores. Lo and behold, he was not getting his gas. They were not coming to put the fuel over there in the stuff like they was doing everybody else. He constantly calling, complaining. I'm like, dude, let's get the news out here. They trying to force you out the business for them Arabs. It's a long uphill fight, but shit, we got to fight. We can't just stop. We can't stop. You have to search for the positive in your people and in yourself. I'm not saying, oh, give a Black, oh, because they Black, they can treat you like crap. No, because Black business have a responsibility to the community. Just like the community have a responsibility to to the Black business. We have responsibilities to each other. And if you find somebody in your community and all they hired was Mexicans, you tell them, you don't go there no more. We're not going until you give people in our community jobs and give them a livable wage. It can easily be done, but it has to be something we want to do. Either we want to do it or not. It's easy to talk about. And that's why I said sometimes I feel I've been forced into the individual mindset. Because the stuff I talk about on here is the stuff I stand out in public and talk about. The stuff I talk about is the stuff that I do, is how I live my life. This is what I base my life around. If I didn't, I wouldn't talk about it. So on that, man, thanks for letting me speak, bro.
Yeah, I agree with.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Bakari, you could be when you gotta learn Yiddish, you could be looking a little real goofy in Yiddish class when you learn how to say yes sir in Yiddish.
Yes, sir, in Yiddish. I don't even know what Yiddish is, man, so I ain't gonna learn it. What is Yiddish? Who speak that?
The Shysters.
No, Jews don't want you to learn their language.
No, they don't.
They don't. They don't want you to learn their language because shit, they don't want you to know what they're saying. But I'm gonna tell you something, right? It's this thing, it's on Netflix called One of Us. What I was just talking about, how you can do things. Literally, you can literally learn and see. Now, I've seen all this stuff done. I lived this way since I was little. But you can literally, if you watch this documentary called One of Us, you can literally see how the Hasidic Jews do other Hasidic Jews if they go against the grain, go against the rule. Now, of course I ain't agree with everything they was doing, but that, you go against this, you out the community. Ain't no coming back, ain't no job, ain't no nothing. And we ain't supposed. It's amazing how they would do that. It's also amazing how they treat a lot of their women. Don't want none of their women to have more than a third or fourth grade education. And some of the dudes too. But as far as the way they put you ain't supporting this, you don't want to be part of us, you out the community. Because there's a responsibility. There's a responsibility to the community from the business. There's a responsibility from the business to the community. And that way we have a responsibility to us, a responsibility from the black man to the woman, and vice versa, the black woman to the black man. We have to be willing to accept the responsibility of being black. We have to accept the responsibility of black men. We have to accept the responsibility of the things that what men do. That's my take.
Yeah, definitely. I was just messing with you too, Bakari. But yeah, I agree with you on that, you know. But a lot of us looking goofy. But yeah, go ahead, my brother Rashid.
Yeah, I agree with what Brother Bakari was saying, man. We got to take responsibility. We got to start demanding stuff in our community and like stop going to their store. We ain't gonna support none of your stores till you start hire our people, cause that's the only way they'll start respecting us and all that. Long you continue to keep giving your money to the other race, how they expect to respect you, and you don't respect yourself. And this day, we gotta start respecting ourselves and demand stuff in life. Cause in this day, we don't demand nothing. We just keep our mouth shut, be like quiet like mice. Like it's like they control you. Like you can't think for yourself. Like they had turned a lot of our people into robots. But in the day, it's gonna be on us to put into it. Cause in the day, that's not their job to come down and help us. We gotta help ourselves and look out for ourselves and start with us. That's all I can say. And it would have to start with us and our kids. That's it. Cause we want things to change, we gotta change. Point blank period. Because why would they fix it for us? They're benefiting off our stupidity. It's going to take us to put an end to it. Stop going to their store. Stop going to their shop, giving all your money. Start creating your own and build your own stuff. Create your own resource. We got the will to do it. We the one that keep the economy up. And without us, there is no economy. So imagine we kept our dollar within our own community. We built our supermarket, black stores, black everything. Man, our conditions could change overnight, man. But it start with you. We gotta get rid of that. One thing we gotta get back on is trusting each other and get rid of that self-hatred. We gotta get rid of that self-hatred. We can get rid of that self-hatred, things can change overnight. And I believe it can be done, but it got to be in you. It got to be within your heart. You got to change that mindset. Get rid of that self-hatred that's holding you back. That's what been. I'm just saying. I understand we was taught that way, but truth is out there now. There's no excuse no more. There's no more excuse. The information is out there now. It's on you to take it. And the thing, I'm gonna just play my part and do what I gotta do to help my people. And I'm always practice my race first, and I'm not running away from my black. I love my melanin skin, and I'm not. And in the day, black first is my religion. In the day, I'm tired of putting everybody else first. Put your own race first. Like everybody else can come in, practice their race first, but black people in this country ain't allowed. We don't. It's like we the only race in this country that ain't allowed to practice our group first. But it's okay for Chinese to put their race first, and they not being called no name. Chinese can look out for Chinese. Asian can look out for Asian. Japanese can look out for Japanese. Europeans can look out for Europeans, but black people ain't allowed. It's a problem with black people doing. If black people try to look out for their own and say, I'm black and proud, they call that racist. They use that race card. We got to stop buying into that nonsense. We got to stop believing that. That's what problem with black people. They let things get to them. Once you being told that that's black extremist, that throw people off. Some things you can't believe everything. You gotta ignore that shit, cause that's what they do. They are jealous of us, cause we unite and come together. That's what they fear of. Neutral bomb. Unity is like they neutral bomb against them. That's what they don't want us to see us do. It can be done. You just gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever say that it can never happen, cause that's not my coward talk. I can't be around people that's like that. I want to be around with like-minded people that's about building. They want to see you be successful and win and hold hands and work together. We got to get out of that individual mindset. Because I used to be the same way, being individual, think I can do it by myself. I can't do it by myself. I need people in my life. Can't do it by myself. And in the day, I realized that we need one another. Because there ain't no way you can do it by yourself. You need each other. Always remember that. You cannot do it by yourself. It's impossible. I thought I can. Man, I realized that I can't. I need people in my life, man. Because without us, there is no us. Because we all we got. And I appreciate you letting me be on your stage, Brother Forecast. I salute you for doing what you're doing. And salute you too, Brother Bakari. I salute y'all what y'all doing, man.
Nah,
I love y'all, man.
Brother.
Black power.
Yeah, salute you, my brother. And real quick, you know, just like yes or no, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Bakari, and both of y'all, Bakari and Rashid, Bakari, do you think we look goofy? Like, if you look at a historical perspective, right, just take a step back, you know what I'm saying? Say you in somebody else, right? You just outside of your body. You think we look goofy for having this whole conversation in like English right now? Everybody in the chat look goofy for typing the English. I look goofy the whole time. Bakari look goofy for coming on here. Rashid, you think we all look goofy just for having this conversation in English right now? Like, if you looked at us from like 1,000 years ago, be like, what the world is y'all doing? What do you think, Bakari? Is you there, Bakari?
Yeah, you can say it's goofy, but you know, y'all also look like a people that has been conquered. But it is time to fight your way out of that. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, you can go goofy and look conquered. But it's time to fight your way out of this. You know, we can learn other languages, and that's the thing about it. Well, you know, you young, so you don't remember. You don't remember when they were talking about Ebonics, do you?
Yeah, I know.
You don't remember that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking about when they first started talking about it. See.
I don't know when they first started. I don't know. Maybe I was, but I know about Ebonics though. You went out too, Bakari. We still talking.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
I say that's why they started complaining. See, in essence, we did something similar to what I was talking about, what Angola did with the Portuguese, but they still had their own language, and they put it with that language and created something that they could speak right in front of them, and they couldn't understand, and was able to take over Portugal, right? In a sense. When we had Ebonics, they didn't understand what we were saying. That's why they complained. That's why they called it Ebonics. And since they said it was Ebonics, so then we fought what happened because they used a trick. So then we fight to prove to them we can learn proper English. Me, most of the time, you know how I speak. A lot of times I intentionally just tear the language. I intentionally mess the language up. But yeah, it was a trick. I'll give them that. When it comes to being devious, they're smart. But hey, yo, man, thanks for letting me speak, man. I'm going to listen to the rest offline, man. Peace.
Yeah.
Peace, Rashid. Peace in the chat.
Peace, Brother Bakari.
Yeah, and by the way, Bakari, like, when it comes to the language stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree with you. They definitely used it that way, you know what I'm saying, to get us to not. But you know, your peoples would be like, yo, damn, Bakari looking goofy right now. What the hell is you talking about? Like some damn Bakari and all the stuff that you said here tonight. HBCU, he'd be looking at you like you crazy and stuff like that. I'm just saying, Bakari. So I just want
to you talking about our ancestors from 1,000 years ago? Yeah, like what the hell is he talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I definitely agree with you what you said though, my brother. You know, I forgot what else I was gonna say. So I appreciate you for coming on here though, my brother. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the whole point though, man. We look crazy out here, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I appreciate you too, my brother Rashid, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you too, brother, for forecast. You have a good night.
Yeah, you too, my brother. Thank you for coming on here, you know what I'm saying?
I had to, man. I had to show you my support, man. I miss you. I ain't been on your stage for it, man. I said, let me slide through here, give you my thought.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Everything all right too, my brother?
Yeah, I'm just everything cool. I just want change in life, man. I'm just tired of living in a condition of self-hatred, us hating on each other, acting like the white Europeans, all that, and we don't gotta live like this. I'm just tired of living in hell. This is hell in America. We making ourselves live in hell. We making this stuff worse than there is. We don't gotta make it like this. All we gotta do is love each other and unify and care for one another. We don't gotta make our life difficult. They don't have to. You know what I'm saying, brother Forecast?
Yeah, definitely, my brother. Definitely. I feel what you're saying, you know.
You gotta get out of that white European mindset. You gotta get out of that white European mindset. That's what's holding our people back. Self-hatred. You wanna be like them so bad. Be yourself. Love yourself. You'll never be them. Be you. Stop being ashamed who you are. That's what bothers me every day with black people, black men and women look down on each other, look evil at each other. You gotta get out of that frowning evil. Smile at your brother once in a while. Shake your brother and hug him and conversate with him. That thing, come on now. There ain't nothing wrong with doing that. You was taught that to go against each other, like Phil Nigga versus Uncle Tom. We gotta get out of that. We gotta get out of that too. That's how they set it up this way in this country.
Yeah.
Phil Nigga versus Uncle Tom.
Yeah, you know, that's what it takes, you know, us fighting each other, you know what I'm saying? That's why we always looking crazy out here. And that's another thing, and that's why I wanted to say with Bakari too. He was talking about Ebonics, and it's ironic now because, like, yo, of course they copy everything that you say and all the words that you use and all the lingo that you use, you know what I'm saying? But they capitalize off of it and they make money while we look down on it and frown upon it. And that's just how crazy, that's how goofy we look, where people make money off of the stuff that we are ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that we create is like beauty, is art. And we like think it's negative and bad because that's what they tell us. And then they take it and make a fortune off of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And we goofy as hell sitting there looking at it like, damn, they done made a fortune off of it. But we gave it away, you know? So
yep. Everything we gave away, they made money off of it. Everything we gave, we invented. They took it away from us and sold it to us.
Yeah.
That's how they did it.
Yeah,
they are genius. I call it Devil Punching Bowl. They were the genius.
No, I think they not so much as a genius as we've been goofy for too long. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not really smart what they're doing. We just still on that love everybody. Love will conquer all. We just look dumb as hell. You know what I'm saying? Because they do the same thing over and over. It's no excuse. That's why I stopped giving passes after 1800. You know what I'm saying? So it's all the stuff that I said today happened in 1800s. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
and know how they get us? Know how they trick us? Like you got to love everybody. Instead of love yourself. How can you love everybody? They don't give you the same love you love them. That's what bothers me. They catch you loving everybody that don't love you, that's harming you, raping you, killing you and not being punished for it. But we do something wrong, we automatically getting punished and get sent behind bars, and we're not going home to our family. They could go home with their family. If they shot one of us right now, they'll find a way to give them an excuse to give them a bypass. Cause they don't take us serious. They don't respect us in this country. That's how they look at us.
Yeah, but that's the thing, my brother. You know, nobody that's charity starts in La Casa. You know what I'm saying? That charity starts at home. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't gonna get justice until you get yourself that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, that's all it comes. And whether you got to get a folding chair or you got to do whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So, so let me, because I'm about to get out of here. Let me say this, shouts out to Rashid, my brother. Appreciate you coming on. Shouts out to my brother Bakari. Shouts out to Raw in the building. I appreciate you, Raw, the whole show. Shouts out to Black Megas in the building. I appreciate it, my brother. You create the world you live in. Times are hard. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't hell. I feel you, my brother. The Caucasoid made this planet a living hell. We got to take the planet back, We have to stay along. So,
All right, brother, You have a good night, man.
All right, you too, my brother.
I'll probably come back on and we have another live stream. Wherever you have it again.
All right, that's cool, my brother. Appreciate it, my brother.
Peace, my brother.
Peace. All right. Shouts out to my brother. Rashid. Shouts out to consider Realm in the Bush. Y'all subscribe to our channel. Y'all support Realm in the Bush. Shouts out to my brother Koku. You know what I'm saying? Y'all definitely subscribe to the Bitter Medicine podcast every Saturday. Melanated Goddess, I appreciate you for coming in here. My brother MG2, you know what I'm saying? He was telling you for a long time you're about to lose your hours and at work and all that. You know what I'm saying? Now, time is here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do? Shouts out to my brother Bakari, definitely, for coming on. William Bell. Shouts out to Erica. Y'all definitely give a shout out to Erica, I appreciate Erica for coming through. First Rifleman, he left. I got his feelings was hurt because he was trolling and we called him out, but that's all good. Y'all don't feed into it. When you don't feed into it, trolls usually leave when you don't feed into it. So I should have made that mistake earlier. I shouldn't have did that, but it is what it is. But man, shouts out to all the rest of y'all. My brother Guy was in here earlier. Shouts out to everybody who was in here. And I appreciate all of y'all for coming on here. And all I can say is y'all stop looking goofy. You know what I'm saying? Until you come up with the right answer, you continuously looking goofy. So matter of fact, I'm going to let this brother have the last words.
Sniff organization. Animal. We don't need to be with See, Harlem exploded. Dayton exploded. Cincinnati exploded. It's time for Cambridge to explode, baby. We've been if Dayton don't come round, we gonna burn Dayton down. White folks built America. If America don't come round, we should burn it down, brother. We don't get our share of it. Take your violence to the hunky. Take it to the back. The street belongs to us. We got to take it. They ain't gonna give it to us. We got to take them. Ain't no reason in the world. But on the other side of Ray Street, the funky Peckerwood cracker owns all the stores, and we take our money. Hell, don't you know they? Hell, don't you know they outnumbered? Always they outnumbered. David was outnumbered when he fought for life. He was outnumbered. Daniel in the lion den was outnumbered. Moses was outnumbered. All of us outnumbered. That don't make no difference. So let me tell you, brother, we work in their houses. They ain't got to leave home. They ain't got to leave home. When they want to do walk, and they let us come in their house, that show you how stupid the honky is. Because he ain't got to leave home. Brothers who in Vietnam comprise 22% of that fighting force, and we 10% over here. So sons, your nephews go to that war. That ain't your war. Right, but you better get. Let me tell you what he did in Newark. He killed 24 people. That's too many people to lose. We ain't got no business losing 24 people. But in Plainfield, which is about 12 miles from Newark, the brothers broke in some stores and stole themselves some guns. They stole them some guns. They stole 46 guns. They ain't stealing. How can you steal from a thief? He done stole everything from us. Don't you worry about that, but look at the brother did in Plainfield. They got 46 automatic weapons. 46 automatic weapons. So the Peckerwood goes down there to take the weapons, and they stomp one of them to death. They start the cop to death. Do it, he did. Yeah. And really, y'all might think that's brutal, but it ain't no more brutal than killing a pregnant woman. And that's what the honky does. He kills pregnant black women. They stuffed him to death and threw a shopping basket on his head, took his pistol and shot him, and then cut it. And you know he was weak. Yeah. Because they don't like to hear about niggas cutting. They don't want to hear about niggas cutting. And they cut it. But then they went back to their community with their 46 weapons, and they told that Trekker was cop, and the brother saw what was going on, and the brother told him, if you kick down one more door, I'm going to shoot your leg off. And look what the honky did. He left. That's the kind of force he respects. Brothers, you better get some guns. I don't care if it's a BB gun with poison BB. He's in the flag war on black people, and he don't mind killing them. It might be your son he kills next. That might be your daughter, it might be you. So wherever you go, brother, take some of them with you. That's what you do, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, tit for tat, brother. That's the only kind of world that man knows. That's the only thing he recognizes. Ain't no need in the world for me to come to Cambridge and I see all them stores sitting up there with all them honkies over there owning them. You got to own some of them stores. I don't care if you have to burn them down and run them out. You better take over them stores. The streets of yours. Take them. They gave you the streets a long time ago. Before they gave you houses, they gave you the streets. So we own the streets. Take them. You see that school over there? I don't know if the honky break that school or not. But y'all should have burnt that school a long time ago. You should have burned it down to the ground, brother. You're going to have to start studying your history. You got to understand that black folks is not a minority. We ain't got more black folks across the world than they got white people.
I say violence is necessary. Violence is a part of America's culture. It is as American as cherry pie. American taught the black people to be violent. We will use that violence to rid ourselves of oppression if necessary. We will be free by any means necessary. And we also say, to extend that, if black leaders continue to aid in the genocidal attempt of America to execute and eliminate black people, then they shall be considered as enemies also of black people.
So, as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we'll keep falling for anything.